the garden due to the weather conditions, but I have a question for you. How many gardeners does it take to plant a tulip bulb?
One.
Right.
I thought this was a trick.
No, not even one if it's a master gardener. Sharon Morrissey with us this morning. And yeah, I love bulbs because they're so easy to grow, and you got a whole bunch of them out here.
Yeah, bulbs are wonderful. You plant them now, though, and it's kind of a thankless task in the fall. But in the spring, you'll really be glad that you did it.
Your patience is rewarded.
It certainly is. And I have quite a variety here, and you can see there's all different sizes of bulbs. And generally, the rule of thumb is to plant the bulbs about 2 times the depth as the bulb is wide.
Okay, so twice, this thing's about an inch, say, so go about 2 inches deep on that.
So we plant that about that deep. Okay?
Perfect.
So the thing with our soils is that there's such heavy clay that it makes it very difficult to plant bulbs.
Right.
And so people kind of shy away from doing that.
Yeah, it can be, the elbow grease gets a little sore after a while.
And the wrist, there are some bulb planters. I have one here that's just a hand planter, and in heavy clay that's very difficult to use, even with the sharp edges on the end. There's also ones that you can step on to push it into the ground. It
Use
sounds
the full
like a great
force
idea.
of your weight there.
It doesn't really work very well
Doesn't
in
work for
our
you?
soils.
No. All right, what about this guy here?
The augers do work pretty nicely. Now you have to have a very powerful drill to attach that
Oh, you put this on a drill?
But you put that on an electric drill, a cordless drill, and take it out, and you can fluff the soil up very nicely, dig the hole a little deeper than it was, and put a little bit of fertilizer in there. Not bone meal. You often hear that bone meal is recommended, but really any bulb fertilizer is better because it's more well balanced. So that'll loosen the soil. You can get the bulb down there very nicely.
Excellent. All right.
But we have another bulb that we're going to plant in our vegetable garden this fall. It's garlic. And in order to do this, we need to look at our rotation plan from the last several years. And the way I do rotation plans is I just take a scratch piece of paper and draw the outline of the garden on there.
You don't have to get too scientific on it.
Nothing fancy.
Just have to keep track, right?
Right. And this is color-coded then for each of the crops, and I use the same color coding for the crop groupings. And then when I can look back for the last 3 years where our garlic was. And what I've been doing is rotating it from bed to bed to bed, and now this year it'll go into this bed.
Because they each take something different from the soil, right?
They do, and also because of pests.
Oh, because
so
of
that
pests,
the plants, if the pests stay in the soil, it's usually specific to that crop group. Then if that crop group isn't there next year, there's no host.
They've got nothing to eat, so away they go. All right, well, tons of bulbs, a little bit of work now, big time payoff later, and just take your pick. There's tons of different colors and different things to put in the garden. Thank you once again. Let's go check in with Nicole, I believe.
Thank you, Rob. 31st Annual Lakefront Marathon is